I like that hat. Where's that? Whose brand is it?
That is actually my old co-host Sarah. Her and her ex-boyfriend, they started a brand. I forget what they called it.
What is it? Dago what?
Dago Made. That wasn't the name of the brand, though. I forget what they called it. Bucket Drip. They called it Bucket Drip. And they was selling those on Juneteenth, and I grabbed one on Juneteenth last year.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I miss Sarah, man. I miss Sarah. And it's funny, I was saying in the last podcast, I really enjoy doing the podcast by myself, bro. I really enjoy it.
Like you and a guest?
Yeah, me and a guest. Yeah. I was dreading her leaving because like I never had outside of doing a podcast with my brother, I never had chemistry with anyone like that. Like I had with Sarah. It was easy, effortless. We didn't have to try. It was effortless. Our chemistry was good, great. And so her leaving, I was like, damn, I know I'm gonna be able to recreate that with nobody.
Yeah, it's hard.
But now, like doing it by myself it's easier. It's easier, and it's
I feel like we both went through a co-host split and shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, that's right. You was telling me about Troy's when we left our last meetup. Anyway, Ain't Got It Yet podcast, episode 24, I think it is. My guy Jonah from the Barbershop Confidential Podcast. I ain't even mess up your name, bro. My bad.
Nah, you good.
How you living, fam?
Good, man. Good. How about you?
I'm good, bro. I'm solid, bro. I'm excited to do this podcast with you, bro. I can't lie.
I know, yeah.
I'm excited to do this one.
Ever since the last time when we saw each other, I was like, I kept forgetting to hit him up, too.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was on the
you and Sarah came through
your show. I want to say...
That was like beginning of the year? No, it was the beginning of the year.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in the beginning, yeah.
It was January, February.
You guys were my 100th episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I didn't know that. I try to... I told myself when I first started I was going to like every like 10th episode I was going to like do something just to like celebrate the fact that I'm still going. I'm on like the 10th episode. I think Sarah and I wore sunglasses. That was like all we really did, really. But other than that, but I've been telling myself like every milestone I'm gonna do something. So we'll see what happens at episode 25.
That's a good one. I'd be forgetting to do shit like that because I wanted to do like the 100 balloons, and I just like last minute I was like, fuck it, dude.
How many are you at now?
128.
Nice.
Right now. Yeah.
And how long ago did you start your show?
I started in 2019. I would say like closer to like the end of 2019. And at first I didn't know what I was doing. Like literally bought the mics and the recorder and I was like, all right, now I got to learn how to do this. So I really didn't really kick off till 2020 and then COVID happened.
Yeah, that's right.
So 2020 was a wash, and then really 2021.
I feel it. And you do pretty good on the DSPs. You do pretty good numbers, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like.
For you, what you consider good numbers?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like when I started, if I hit 100 downloads, I was like, oh my god, 100 people are listening to me. I thought that was dope.
And see, downloads is big. That's bigger than just a play. A download that's big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of people. And see, I don't even upload. I'm working on it now. My whole catalog, all my shows are going to be on the DS or on like Spotify and all the streaming platforms soon. But
so you did the opposite. I went audio first before video.
And see, I started audio only, no video, and then I went audio video, and now I'm only video.
Oh no!
But like I said, I have all the audio. Like it's a separate file that's saved. It's all my audio files in a separate file than all the videos. I'm in the process of uploading the whole catalog to all the streaming platforms. Right?
You definitely should, man, because I drive all day, and so I'll be listening to everybody's podcast like in the group. Whenever they drop one, I listen to it, but I can't watch it.
Right.
Like I can't put it on YouTube because I need the GPS on my phone.
I feel it.
So it's kind of like, damn, I wish Mike had his shit on Spotify.
And see when you told me that was a thing that kind of kicked me in gear to really get everything on there. And then see, I that was the thing I didn't think about because I have YouTube Premium.
Oh.
And so I could hit the power button on the YouTube and it's still on my phone and the YouTube still plays. So I never like.
It was funny.
I consume everything on YouTube except the Joe Budden podcast. I listen to the Patreon. Everything else I consume on YouTube.
I just found something out on my car on accident. Like I was watching a video, and I locked my phone, and so it stops, right? But then I pressed play on my stereo, and it kicked it on.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, oh shit! It's kind of like YouTube Premium.
Right.
Like a little loophole or some shit.
For sure.
But yeah, now because I have two phones, one for work with GPS and like my personal one, so it's kind of hard for me to sit there and like have video playing. Yeah.
I feel it. I'm trying to get like you, man. Get up. Oh, that's one thing. Before we get into the topics, that's one thing I wanted to ask you about. Have you are Are you, how do I say it? Have you been outside in San Diego and ran into a listener of your show?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Actually, this morning,
Yeah?
I was at the gym and this guy walks up to me and he like shows me his phone. He was listening to like the latest episode.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's dope.
That's dope. That's what's up.
Yeah, I've had some guy walk up to me. He's like, hey, you're Jonah, right? And I was like, yeah. And because of like the stuff that I've done in the past, like I was a club promoter. I worked at a Costco. You know, there's a lot of people local who would go there who would recognize me. So I never know where they're recognizing me from. He's like, oh, from the podcast. I listened to it. I was like, oh shit.
That's dope.
I was kind of like a little like dope feeling, like, oh damn, all right.
Right.
I don't know this person.
Right.
Listen to my shit.
That's dope. That's dope. And see, I was talking to someone else who has a podcast, and talking to my brother about it earlier. There's a bunch of people, not a bunch, there's a good amount of podcasters here in San Diego that, and I'm not big on numbers. I'm about like producing a great show. That's what I'm about first and foremost. Like I'm about producing a great show. But there's a bunch of people in San Diego that do better numbers than me. Like YouTube, that's the only place I post. When I'm out though, and this is not a shot. I'm just speaking of like what I've experienced. When I'm out, people like speak to me and like tell me that they appreciate my show and that they appreciate my content.
Oh, that's dope.
All the time, especially when I'm downtown.
Oh no shit.
All the time.
That's dope.
And I think, and I was asking myself, I wonder which one I'd prefer, especially if none of us are being paid to podcast. Like, which would you prefer? Would you prefer to have like not really high numbers on the streaming platforms, and when you're outside, you could feel that people like your show? Or would you have high numbers, but when you go outside, nobody, like, you can't really feel it and nobody really cares?
That's a good question. I don't know, man. I think I don't really like too much attention on me. I know it sounds weird because I have a podcast, but I don't like it. Like, when I was a nightclub promoter, everybody would be like, John, hey, yo, hook me up, like, blowing up my phone that I kind of, like, already exhausted that, like, that want of being, like, recognized and shit like that. So now I'm kind of like, I like low-key, man. So if they listen to it, cool. If they don't ever tell me, like, I'm cool with that, too. Like, at the gym, I had one of the trainers there on the podcast. And I know everybody who goes to the gym follows him, right? Like, so they all saw who I, like, either saw that he posted it or, like, saw that I have a podcast. But then, like, hardly any of them will come up to me and be like, hey, yo, I saw that shit. You know? So, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. So.
And see, I'm not saying like I don't strive to be recognized.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too.
I wasn't taking a shot at you.
I didn't feel like you were. But I was gonna say that's another thing too. I don't like when people who make themselves public say that they don't care about.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, yes you do, to some extent.
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't make your art public.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of artists that like, I guess like painters that like do things anonymous and they just like, they have a signature but you don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
If you make music and put out music videos, or if you have a podcast and you have a visual podcast, you do want to be recognized. Otherwise you wouldn't make it visual. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not taking a shot.
No, but I was going to say like I agree with you.
I don't like, but this, I guess that's my long-winded way of saying, I wasn't saying that I want necessarily to be recognized, but I like when I go outside being able to like tangibly feel that people consume my content and that they appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It means more to me. But then you could also make the argument that the guy that has higher numbers, he's closer to being a paid podcaster than someone with low numbers. You know what I mean? So it's like...
Well, I talked to another podcaster. It's more like Latin podcast. And he was saying that he faked his numbers to, like, get sponsorship. And I was like, yo, I never thought about that. You know, like, because it's easy to Photoshop, like a screenshot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do that easy. But I never thought about that. I was like, damn, he's over here, like, kind of working the system.
It's the same thing as buying followers.
True, yeah.
I know of a few years ago, maybe like 2018, 2019, when it was like a bigger deal to like show to show brands and companies like, yo, I have this many followers, and but I know photographers that were paying for followers and paying for engagement to land different deals, whether it was with Ball is Life or like, yo, I got this many followers and this many people. If I do it, then this many people are gonna see it, and it was working for him. But for me, it was just like I don't want it that way, because I feel like you get it that way. Like, as quick when you do it that way, as quick as you get it, is as quick as you lose it. So I feel like if you build it and build it the right way, then it's gonna sustain. That's
kind of like how I did mine, because I did audio only for so long that when I got video, I was like, I'm just adding like an extra. And the reason why I never wanted to do video is because I was like, I don't want to like be out there like that. And I did video because people were like, yo, do video. And you did my first full. You recorded my first full video for me.
That's right, with Dub Fuego.
Yeah, with Dub Fuego. And I did one before, but my cameras have a 30-minute limit. So I'd get up and be like, oh, my bad, man. You know, and I ended up not getting the whole episode. I only got like pieces on video, only a couple like little snippets. But you did my first one complete, and I was like really nervous about it. I was like, damn, I don't know, man. Like, or they see they're like, oh shit, that don't match like the audio. You know what I mean? Like, I always had like this, I guess like insecurity. Like, they're gonna be like, oh damn, he's fat as shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I really never wanted to be on video, and then I did it. I was like, it's out there. Fuck it, you know, like just gotta keep going now. So
I feel it. You know what? Being that you said that, we're gonna leapfrog over the first topic. I have another topic in there. You said like about like, you, like, I'm a big dude. They might say that. Is there? I guess that isn't a compliment, but is there a compliment that you don't like receiving?
A compliment I don't like receiving, like about my size or something?
About anything in general.
Oh,
any compliment at all that you don't like receiving. I
feel like the ones that are like more backhanded.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a true compliment because it's only because I'm big. You know what I mean? Like, they'll say shit like, "Oh, you could probably like lift this easily," and it's like, okay, what was the point of that? Or one thing I do not like is when people see me and they go, "What's up, big man?" Like, imagine if I walked around, "What's up, little dude?" Whose ego's gonna get hurt more?
Right.
Mine or theirs? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that shit. That's just, it's kind of annoying.
That's literally the exact example I was gonna give, because I was like, I don't mind that how could I've been skinny my entire life, so I don't mind that I'm a skinny dude, but that's the exact example that I always use with people. If people like, damn, you're so skinny. Yeah,
that's not a compliment, right?
Yeah. Like if I saw someone overweight and walked up to them and said, like, oh, you're so big, you're so fat. It'd be like, bro, you want to fight? You know what I mean? It would not at all be. I guess it's a double, and I always sound.
It doesn't receive.
I guess I always say I'm okay with double standards, so I guess that's one of the ones I got to be okay with. But that's like I don't ever like the. Oh, you're so thin. It's like that's not really.
You get that often?
Pretty often. Yeah.
Oh no shit! Yeah. I thought it was only like big dudes be like, "Oh, what's up, big man?" It's like.
I get it pretty often.
Like, for what?
The one and only time someone said it, and I knew what she meant, but she like flipped it and said it like, she made it respectful. I ran into my middle school PE teacher. Actually, the first middle school I worked before and after school program for, she was now teaching at. She left the school that I went to and was teaching at this school, Hidden Valley Middle School, Miss Sullivan. I seen her, and she recognized me. She's like, Michael Ron? And I was like, yeah. She's like, I remember you and your brother, you guys were so competitive, this and that, da-da-da-da. She's like, I see you you stay pretty fit. You keep yourself in really good shape. And I knew that meant like, damn, you still real skinny. Or maybe she meant that I was fit. I don't know. But that's the one and only time someone like was saying like, you're skinny. But they were saying it like.
In a positive?
Yeah, in a positive or respectful way. Yeah, for sure.
I remember I ran into a girl from high school, years after high school, and she's like, damn, you got bigger. And I said, no, we got bigger. And she like, kind of like, shut up. And I was like, I know women don't want to be called fat, so choose your words wisely around me, man. She just like looked at me like, and I was like, yeah, I guess we both eating, huh? Just walked away.
We both living good out here.
Shit.
Speaking of larger people, Lizzo getting in trouble for body shaming her dancers. You say you can't stand Lizzo?
No, man. So there's things I like. I know I'm a big dude, but there's just things that like I don't think either, even like skinny, like people in general shouldn't be doing, man. Like nobody would want me to wear a shirt that's like above and my belly sticking out. They'd be like, yo, cover that shit up, right? It's the same thing with her. Like, okay, yeah, there's dudes who like big girls. That's fine. You ain't got to be doing all that. Like, that's like that attention, and it's not positive attention. And all that, like, yeah, girl, flaunt it. They don't mean that. It's fake love, you know what I mean? So I don't like that shit. And then she just kind of like leans into it. It just makes me like her even less.
You don't think they mean it?
When they say like, yes, no.
And see, I think they do because of the times that we're in. I think it started off.
They really felt that way, they would let themselves go too.
No, okay, I don't think they mean like. I think what people are championing is
that she's like proud of her
the
shit.
confidence and the pride. I don't think they're necessarily saying, because it's like look however you want to look, but I feel like we should all be trying to be as healthy as we can be. And so that would be my only thing. Like, if you're unhealthy, then let's try to be healthy. But I think that's what people are championing. The fact that you love yourself, you're confident, and you want to look like that, and you're doing it, and you're not letting anybody stop you.
But at what point is it false confidence? Like, at one point, it's like, you ever see like a mom tell her son, oh, you're so handsome, you're handsome. And we look at him like, he ain't, like, his mom just loves him, right? So he walks around chest pumped out, like, my mom calls me handsome every day. I don't care what nobody says, but in reality, like, you're not, you know, like, so it's just one of those things, like, everybody's gassing her, but it's like, come on, girl, like, do you think Lizzo looks good?
But I'm not.
Like, if you see Lizzo, you're like, damn, that's
I'm not physically attracted to Lizzo, no.
You know what I'm saying? No. So it's like, but you get so many women gas her, like,
someone might be, though.
No, yeah, 100%. Like, everybody's attracted to somebody, and we're all ugly to somebody.
Right.
So it's just like, is it real? Like, real? Like, are they really saying, like, yeah, girl, you look good? Or are they just saying that because it's the thing to say?
I do think there are people saying it just because it's the thing to say, but I do think
I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying like at some point there's some type of false.
I do believe the majority of the people that are rah for Lizzo, I think they mean it. I do. But the more I read the story of her,
and then right, because you have it on the thing about how she's like shaming her backup dancers.
Yeah, from what I read, I'm not mad at it.
Oh, are you talking about like you got to be professional and like?
Yeah, like the Amsterdam thing. I'm not.
That's weird.
I don't know about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that because we don't know. None of us were in Amsterdam. We don't know. That's all hearsay. I guess the whole thing is hearsay. But if she has, like, she's a big girl, and if she has other big girls as her dancers, and then one of them is going a little overboard with being a big girl. I don't know a respectful way to say that. If one of them is getting too big now, I think she's well within her right to be like, yo, you're slipping. Get it together or you can't work for me anymore. Like, that's...
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Because it happens in sports.
In making the band, Puff used to tell them, like, y'all need to get in shape. And he would point out the two dudes that had nice physique. He'd be like, these two got it together. I don't know what the rest of y'all doing. They looking good. I don't know what the rest of y'all doing. Was he body shaming these dudes that didn't have muscles?
Yeah, but
he was saying like, yo, to be a performer on Bad Boy, I got a standard, and y'all not living up to that. These two are, y'all aren't. This is the example. Catch up. Did nobody get mad at?
How long ago was that?
That was early 2000s.
Like, times change, right?
Yeah.
Would he be shitted on now?
And it was men.
Would he have been shitted on if he did that now?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
They would have gone after him for that.
I think because it's men, he would have been okay.
But he wasn't only shaming the men. Like, he wasn't just saying that to the men, right? He was saying that to the girls too.
The time I'm talking about is with Day 26. It was a male group, so it was all men. It was all men. Yeah.
I don't think they would have let him slide with it.
I think if he did that today with men, I think he'd be okay. I think if he did it with women, it'd be an issue. I think if he had a bunch of women that were built like, who's in shape? A performer that's in shape. Like, if they were, she's not a performer, but if he had a girl group, 5 girls, and 3 of them was built like Lori Harvey, and the other 2, not so much. And he said that to them, like, yo, y'all need to catch up. He would absolutely take heat for that. But because he said it to men, it was
I think it's all in the wording. Like, there should have been an expectation from the jump. Like, this is the look we're going for. I'm talking about, like, Lizzo situation.
Yeah.
But, you know, you still, at the end of the day, have to maintain, like, a certain... If you would have said it from the front, they have the option to be like, nah, I'm cool. But and if they agree, then you have to follow those rules like a job. You know what I mean? Like, they tell you, hey, you can't come in sloppy. You'd be like, all right, cool. You're not gonna get mad if you come in there, like, go home. You're not following the.
If the girl was out of shape now, then she's well within her right to say that, because you can be big and still be in shape,
right,
and then you can be big and be out of shape. If the girl is now like getting out of shape and she's not moving the same and it ain't hitting right, she's well within her right to say that. Now, if she is like making a spectacle of the girl and like publicly embarrassing her, and it's a constant thing, then that's wrong. But to tell someone that they're not doing what they need to do to work for you, with respect, I feel like is okay, personally.
No, I agree with everything you're saying, but I also think these days that people just find a reason to, like, be the victim. So I'm talking about, like, the backup dancers.
Okay.
Like, she could have. We don't know how she told them. Like, we're like hearsay. Like, she could have been like, yo, in a nice way, respectful. Like, you guys are kind of gaining some weight. It's not gonna work out. And they're like, oh, she's fat shaming me, and right away and shit. So it's just, I think it's just like I think today's society is a little softer than like the Puff Daddy days and shit.
That's a fact.
Right? It's work. So if you are their boss, you kind of have like a responsibility to like HR type guidelines, you know what I'm saying? Like, protect yourself. There should have been a different way she could have gone about it to protect herself, to not get in the same situation.
I feel it.
Like, I see both sides, you know what I'm saying? Like, did she fire them? I don't know why she fired them. I don't care why she... Like, you guys weren't living up to what she wants? Like, it's just... I just don't like Lizzo.
So she was wrong. I don't mess with Lizzo.
Yeah. I'm not saying she was wrong for firing them. Like, I don't know, man. It really is just confusing because you want to, like, see their side, but I feel like they're just being sensitive. Like, oh, she's fat shaming them, because it's easy to blame. And look how easy it became like a thing, right? Because it's Lizzo, she's big. Fat shaming, how dare you fat shame your employees and shit. But if she had like a standard that they had to follow and they didn't, then by all means, she should have let them go.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Couldn't agree more. I think people are just too sensitive, man.
Oh, most definitely.
I think sometimes people need to just take a beat, take a minute, really think about like the situation, what was said to them, and then determine how to move forward, rather than feeling away and acting on that feeling. Like, take a minute, take a breath, take a seat, and then move forward.
Like, gather your thoughts.
Yeah, gather yourself.
Like, sit back and be like, am I really mad about this? Oh, yeah, I am. Now how can I protect myself?
Yeah.
She should have had a team to, like, hey, no, Lizzo, chill out.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about this before you, like...
Yeah.
Because what she, like, allegedly, she was like, oh, you're lucky. Like she was going to hit one of them or some shit.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, she was arguing with one of them. I guess people around, and she, like, rolled up her fist. She's like, oh, you're fucking lucky. I don't know what that means, but in our world, what would that mean if a dude told you that?
Like, I want to hit you right now. But
right?
You're lucky, I got to chill.
Yeah, so I was like, she just needed, like, those teams to be like, hey, oh, yeah, chill. Like, you're doing, you're going to get us sued, and sure enough.
Well, speaking of people getting hit.
Oh, that shit was
that Alabama,
the highlight of 2023.
Alabama, oh yeah, that's for sure going to be the highlight of the year. The Alabama Boat Brawl.
If they can give a Grammy to that, that'd be dope.
Bro. That was amazing on so many levels, bro. So many levels was that amazing. And I've watched every single angle, every single video as many times as I possibly can. There's this one video of me and my brother was watching it last night. It starts off, the dude was like, I can't believe I actually saw this in real fucking life. I don't know if like that helps anybody like determine what video I'm talking about, but bro, his narration is amazing, bro. I'm gonna send this to you. You gotta check it out. But I ain't seen a beat down like that in a long time, bro.
It was a beautiful beatdown.
Beautiful, masterful.
And I feel like I used to listen I don't know how old you are, or if you remember the BET used to have comics, like stand-up comedy shows. Comic View.
Yeah.
And a lot of comics I remember would be like, black people never defended. They see one black dude getting jumped, they're like, he's getting jumped, you know? And I was like, damn, that killed that stereotype. I love it. Because they all came together like, nah.
And see, bro, that's what I love most about it. And again, me and my brother were talking about it last night. That's what I love most about that video is the unity. And see that, and I think that's what I think that's what a lot of white people missed in that. What black people were cheering about and were like so happy about was the unity.
Yeah, like complete strangers.
That's what it was about.
Helping each other out.
That's what it was about.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, what if it was black people? What if it was a black family getting beat up by all these white people? It's like, yo, well, we've seen that before. So before you go too far, we've seen black people get completely beat down by white people. Yeah. We've seen that. So don't even open that book. We've seen that before. But again, what we're happy about and what we love, for me personally, what I feel like most people were happy about was the unity. You saw one black person being beaten up by a bunch of white people, and black people saying, that's not okay, we not finna let that happen.
You know what's funny?
And they went and did something.
He wasn't really getting beat up until that dude that tackled him, right?
Yeah.
Because he was like,
he was holding his own.
He was handling those first two dudes, and then the younger guy came and tackled him.
All of those white people was one big family.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until this morning, I think.
Yeah.
All one big family.
I like how they posted a picture, and then I saw on Twitter, they're like, oh, y'all got beat up together too as a family. That's adorable.
Yeah, for real. And you know what? To what you said about the dude on Comic View, that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, no. I mean, it used, like what they did, black people helping black people.
Yeah.
Is how it used to be. Like,
okay.
I was born in Long Beach. We moved to Southeast San Diego in 1993. So I did from 93 to 2001, I was in Southeast San Diego. And I remember walking home from school, seeing black people in a fight with people that weren't black, and just ran over and helped them. I remember being in fights with people that weren't black and black people that I didn't know, running over and helping me.
Especially because back in those days, there was a lot of that, especially in that area, like Morris.
I went to Valencia Park.
Okay.
I went to Valencia Park, right down the street from O'Farrell.
That was like not uncommon.
Not at all.
For like two different cultures, you know, like going at it and shit.
No, but sure. But what I'm speaking to is like black people just helping black people.
Yeah.
Just because you see a black person that needs some help. Like, that's what I was most proud of when I watched the video, and that's what I hope becomes trendy. There's a lot of stuff that becomes trendy. It's like, oh, you doing that? It's like, oh, you just doing that because everybody else did it. I hope this is a thing that with black people that becomes trendy
a trend
nationwide. Yeah. Like, you see a black person that's outnumbered or in trouble, in danger, not even just in trouble or in danger, that needs some help. And just because they look like you go and help them. That's what was the dopest part of the video to me, and what I hope becomes
maybe it's like a
trend
geographic thing. Like in some areas it's not. I feel like in San Diego it kind of is like that. Maybe in some areas of the country it's not. Who knows? You know, never experienced anything like that. How did you feel about like the black dudes defending the white family, like on TikTok?
I didn't see much of that, but
there's like one or two, you know, like that would be like, oh, y'all wrong for that.
No. You play silly games, you win silly prizes, bro. They had that dude completely outnumbered. And regardless of what he said, no, we'll never know what that security guard said for them to start for. We'll never know. But we do know what started it was him doing his job. Y'all can't park here. And they didn't like that, and they came at him. Again, he might have said, all y'all can kiss my ass, your granny is this, your mama. We don't know what he said for that first punch to get thrown. But he didn't need 3 and 4 people putting hands and feet on him all at one time. Whatever he said, by the time he got tackled, you got him back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
You got him back. So y'all took it overboard.
No,
y'all went overboard with how y'all chose to reprimand him for whatever he said. Now all of these people is taking it overboard for y'all taking it overboard. So it's not unfair. It's not like unfair. They got what was coming to them.
And it's not like there wasn't more white people there.
Huh?
There was one white people, but those white people were like, nah, I'm straight.
Not my fight.
Yeah, not my fight.
It's not my fight.
Yeah. I like how they were complaining about the women getting hit. Mm-hmm. If you swing on the dude in the heat of the moment, like, you gonna catch one.
The lady in the red dress and the lady in the turquoise were out there from the beginning throwing
hands, yep.
Throwing punches. So they got what was coming to them too. You know, everybody that got hit got what was coming to them in this situation.
100%.
There was nobody. Bro, I promise you, I've watched every video at least 3 or 4 times.
My favorite one is a dude. You know when they all came up and those 2 guys, one of them turned around and jumped in the water.
Yep.
He's like, I'm out.
He said, I'm out. I want these issues. I'm out. And another thing, I meant to bring this up right when we first started talking about it. Another thing that I love about the video is that the security guard, the first dude that got punched, he didn't start no problem with nobody. He didn't start an issue. He was doing his job and somebody attacked him. The black dude that was on the ramp that ran down, he ran up to break up the fight.
He didn't throw a punch right away.
Until
somebody else did.
He was pushing them off until people started swinging on him.
Yeah.
The dude that swam over, that jumped off the boat
He grabbed that dude and slammed him. That shit was dope.
Did he throw a punch right when he got there?
No, again, he showed up trying to and then the girl.
He showed up like, y'all need to chill and leave him alone.
I think a girl
and then somebody came at him, and then he started fighting. All 3 of them, because they was the 3 of the ones that was really in there messing people up.
Yeah.
All 3 of them, they didn't start nothing, and especially the other 2 that came to help, they didn't even come looking to fight. They came like, yo, leave him alone, let's break this up. Oh, you swinging on me? Now I gotta beat you up now. I love that none of that can be hidden, and that those are the facts.
And there's so many videos of it.
So many angles of it. Like, these people came trying to stop a fight, someone tried to fight them, and they was like, oh, so we fight, this is what we doing now, okay. I love that I don't know if that's ever gonna be spoken, if that's gonna be the narrative, but I love that that's visible.
Well, I saw this video of this lady who was breaking down all the articles about it. Mm-hmm. And so it'd be like white family attacked at the river or whatever it was, right? Mm-hmm. And she'd click on it and go to whoever wrote it, and she's like, nope, it was like a white dude. And the next one, it was like a group of people started defending the security guard, and then she'd click on it and it's like a black guard. And she's like, yeah, all right. And so she would notice like the difference, like the white writers would put these headlines. It was like spinning the narrative to make it seem like it was like the group of
you scroll up
the group of people starting that shit.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's always been that way. It's always been.
But they fucked up because there's mad video of what happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you see this? The lady lost her lottery money.
Oh, was it the lottery?
Yes, a lady. A lady lost her lottery money. Let me see if I could scroll that up for me. Woman who won $1.3 million jackpot. Scroll it back down, my bad. $1.3 million jackpot lost all winnings after keeping lottery wins secret from her husband at the time. She then had to give it all away to her now ex-husband as part of the divorce proceedings.
Damn. That's falsy. Half is better than nothing.
That's when being foul just goes.
I wonder if she
completely
won.
Wrong for you, bro.
I wonder if she won and was like,
hit the back button twice for me. My bad, D.
I wonder if she won and was like, I'm not gonna tell him, but I'm gonna leave him.
That's what she did.
Oh, okay.
That's what she did.
Or if it was like she had already wanted to leave him.
That's what I think too. One more time. That's what I think too. I think she already wanted to leave him. Oh, my bad. Until it goes back to the notes. I think she already wanted to leave him. I was already like, I'm not enjoying this. You can scroll up to the next topic too. I'm not enjoying this relationship no more. I'm cool off him. Like, I just gotta find the right time to leave. And then she hit the lotto and was like, well, found my right time.
Yeah.
But she didn't list her winnings as, oh my gosh.
I mean, that's on her, really.
Oh, for sure. Could you imagine, bro? Oh my gosh.
Like, if I won the lottery, I mean, there's no way, man, like, that I wouldn't tell my girl. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even if I was like,
you in love. You about to get married. You engaged. You in love. You're not like at the end, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand. I'm just looking for the perfect time and the perfect way to leave.
Yeah.
And then you hit the lottery. Like,
Especially because it could be made public. Like, you fucking up and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But you can ask to be anonymous.
In some states.
Oh, I thought it was in every state.
Nah. So like, if you went here in California, you have to create a trust, and then have the trust collect the lottery, so that way it's not your name. But if you don't do that, you have to put your name in this public knowledge that you won the lottery. In some states, you don't have to. Because I started seeing videos of when it was like the 900 million or a billion. There's like a lot of videos of that. Like, what do you do if you win? Like, where can you protect yourself and shit like that? The best way is to like create a trust and then give the money to the trust. And that way you don't have to put your name out there.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. If, say you were like, imagine hypothetically right now you're this big time podcaster making millions of dollars. Would you get a prenup? You're engaged right now. Would you make your wife sign a prenup?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Check you out.
Nah. Even if it didn't work out and she's entitled to have.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was my biggest supporter. Like, some of the equipment I have, she bought. There was never once where she was like, nah, babe, don't do this. She was like, what do you need?
What if you found out she cheated?
I feel like, I don't know, man. She did it. Wouldn't that make her get nothing?
I feel probably. I
I
mean,
she'd be fucking herself, Like,
yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, that would suck.
8-year-old boy in Bolivia lets a black widow bite him, hoping to gain Spider-Man powers. You ever done anything like that as a kid? Any stupid shit like that?
No, man.
No?
I have a healthy fear of snakes, sharks, and spiders. You know what I mean? So,
did you copy like anything as a kid? Power Rangers.
I mean, I was more into like football. So when I was younger, I'd put like my slippers on my shoulders.
Oh yeah.
And then like dive into like pillows and shit like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, but nothing like, I want to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, I feel it.
Nah.
I wanted to be a Power Ranger for sure.
I don't want to ask you on the mic, but like, Power Rangers is your era?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
You can ask me that on the mic.
Oh, how old are you?
Why not? I'm 34.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That was my era for
I thought
sure.
you were younger.
No, yeah, that's my era for sure. For sure. How old are you?
40.
I know that. Yeah, Power Rangers was my era for sure. I was all about it. I knew all their real names, their fake names. I'm sorry, I knew their character names and also the actors' actual names. I was all about Power Rangers.
That shit came out when I was in elementary, and when it came out, they played it in the morning. So like by the time I got to school, like the episode was like everybody was talking about the newest episode because it just happened before school. Really? And then later on, they turned it into like a later show. I think when it got like a little bit more popping, they gave it like a primetime slot.
Nah, bro. When Power Rangers came out, it aired in the afternoon at like 3, 4 o'clock.
Oh, I could swear that I remember seeing it before going to school.
That was probably like the re-air. So like the new episodes came on like weekdays at like
I'm gonna look that
3:30.
I could have sworn it was like a morning show and then it became like a later on.
Nah. I was a stan, bro. I was all about Power Rangers.
Was Pink Ranger your first crush?
Nah. I was never into white girls.
Oh, never?
I was never into white girls.
To this day?
To this day. I think white girls, there are pretty white women. I don't think it's not like a white woman can't be attractive. It could happen tonight. I could walk out of here and be like, yo, white girl fine.
Oh, you just wanted to date
But I was never like, you see like some dudes are like infatuated with like white women, like the blonde hair and like this like allure of white women. I was never bitten by that bug, bro. I never.
Growing up, did your parents ever tell you like you better not get no white girl?
No.
No?
No. My mom would say that she would always start with, can you just scroll the phone up and down so it doesn't die? She would always say, whoever you bring home, as long as she's nice, I'm going to love her too. She would start with that. But then she would always also say, I would love it if you guys marry black women. If you guys date black women.
Yeah, like growing up, my mom would always be, because where I grew up, it was like all minorities, black people, Mexicans or Hispanics, and Filipinos. No white people. We had not one single white person where I grew up. But because there was a lot of Filipinos, my mom would always be like, you better not bring home no Filipino girl. You know, and I'd be like, nah, never. And then growing up, I got more and more infatuated with like Asian girls. And so I was like, damn, I think it might be her fault. She put that in me, you know? Like,
Yeah.
she was like, don't look at them, don't look at them. And I'm like, why you won't want me to look at them? You know what I'm saying? Like, so the fact that your mom was like, never like that, maybe that's why you're like it was maybe never a thing for you to like rebel and be like, nah, I'm gonna bring home a white girl now.
Nah, I was never, I was never one of those teenagers, never one of those kids. I don't think I ever really rebelled in any way. Like I did what any kid does. Like your parents tell you like, yo, you gotta be home at a certain time. You come home a little bit late from time to time. But it was never like, don't stay out late. And I would purposely stay out late because they said, nah, I was never that kid. Like I was never like, if there's fun outside and it's past the curfew, I'm gonna have my fun and deal with the consequences later. But I was never like purposely doing what they said not to do. I was never that kid.
Yeah. I'm not, me neither, man. I was afraid of my mom.
Yeah?
Terrified. She was the enforcer. And then when my dad died when I was young, like, it was mom's left, you know, like, terrified.
How old were you when your dad died?
14.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was, whatever, mom was already the enforcer. And, like, my dad was my scapegoat. Like, I could be able to get away with murder with him. And then when he died, it was just kind of like, nah, it's over now.
Him being your scapegoat, you guys were pretty close then.
Yeah, my dad was, yeah. My dad would let me get away with anything. Like, I get in trouble at school, he would sign the form. He'd be like, you know, like, chill out. If I had to take that form to mom, it's no good. So he was always like my, you know, like, one that had my back.
How badly did his passing affect you?
It took a while, actually. I think I couldn't believe it. I remember when I was a kid, I'd always, like, stare at the door waiting for him to come in and be like, oh, it's a prank. And, like, I was, every night, I'd be like, he's going to come home and be like, I'm just joking, you know, like, as a kid, I was like, any day now, Dad, you know, like, and then I'd see him and people, like, oh, that's my dad. Did he fucking leave me? Like, to go be with another, you know what I mean? Like, it took a while for me to really accept that he was gone. And I saw him in the open, like, because we cremated him. So they put him in a box, if you can't afford, like, a casket. And I remember seeing that, him in the box, and it's like this chilling feeling. But it still would be like, nah, he's not dead. He'll come home any day now. So it took a while for it to hit me like, nah, he's gone.
I've heard a couple other people say that in high school, a girl that I went to high school with, her name was Ashley. I have to reach out to her before this episode comes out, make sure she's cool with me saying this. But her older brother passed away in high school, and I remember going to her house maybe like the next day or 2 days, maybe like 2 days later. He like, I forget what it was, but he suffered from, he had an illness that he dealt with for a while, so much so that like his younger brother had to like give him like bone marrow.
Oh shit.
I'm for sure I have to bleep her name out now. But like his younger brother had to like give him like bone marrow. So he was like, it was a real big thing. So it wasn't like a tragic thing, like it happened like all of a sudden, like it was like a gradual thing. But anyway, after her older brother passed, like going over to her house, and, like talking to her, and she's like calmly speaking, but like crying, and she said the same thing. She was like, it doesn't even feel real. I feel like he's out because he used to rap, and like he was a producer. He used to be in the studio all the time. She was like, I feel like he's at the studio on his late nights, and he's gonna walk in the door and like just open the fridge and go look for food like he always does. Like it doesn't even feel real, like he's gone. Like she was like, so like a lot of the time, like people ask me like, why are you not like how like it does? You don't seem affected. Like how come you're not crying? She's like, because it doesn't feel real. Like I feel like he's gonna walk in the door at any moment. She's like, it's not till like it gets like I'm sitting by myself for hours and I really think like, yo, my brother's really gone and he's never coming back. That I really get sad. So,
yeah, that's exactly how it was. Like it took a while for me to like. Then you know like the crying starts and like. The regrets, because he had like yelled at me before he passed. Like one of our last conversations, he wanted me to do something, and I was like, nah, dude. And he was getting mad and frustrated with me, so he's kind of like raising his voice. And that was like the last, like literally, that I went home, went to sleep, middle of the night, my sister wakes me up, she's like, your dad died. And it's kind of like, even then I was like, don't play like that, like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, let's go, you know, he died. So we go to the hospital, my mom's on top of him yelling, like screaming, crying, like, And then still, even after that, I was like, nah, he's still alive. He'll come home any day now. It took a while for me to accept it.
So you saw him like laying in the bed and your mom over him crying, and you were still like, nah, he'll come home.
Like it didn't feel real.
Wow.
Cause that's shit from like movies, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't like who walks in on their mom screaming at them?
It made me think about This Is Us. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
It made me think about This Is Us. Wow.
So yeah, it was like it took a while, but then now it's like I have a thing where I think everything happens for a reason, whether it be bad or good. I think everything has a purpose. And so his passing, wow, it sucked because he left when I was young, made me a better man. Mm-hmm. Because he was letting me slide with so much shit. Mm-hmm. That I was kind of like a spoiled kid. And then growing up with my mom after that, like she was like the enforcer, so she'd give me more discipline, was able to teach me a little bit more about like holding it down for myself instead of relying on somebody. So yeah, then it sucked because I lost my dad. But then looking back, it's like, it was just one of those things that had to happen or else I wouldn't be who I am today. Mm-hmm. So
I feel it, man. I'm so soft and so sensitive, I couldn't imagine.
Your dad's still alive?
Yeah, for sure. Both my parents, I didn't mean to say it like that. Yeah, both my parents are still alive.
Y'all like, nah, he ain't weak.
I meant to say like, if I were to lose my dad at 14, bro, that as I'm sure it did for you, that would have rocked my world, bro. That would have made everything school. I probably wouldn't have kept playing sports. School would have been difficult. Like, I would have been a burden on my mom because I'm already a mama's boy. But me and my dad, like, I was a mama's boy that, like, you hear a lot of times, like, a mama's boy is like, he doesn't really have much of an attachment or relationship to their dad because of how much they're mama's boy. That was never the case for me. Me and my dad have always been really close and really, really cool, great relationship. But I've always just catered to my mom more. But I'm saying that to say, like, if my dad would have passed when I was 14, bro, I definitely wouldn't have handled it as well as you did. Definitely not. I don't deal well with loss and with death and with tragedy. I don't deal well with it at all. There's so many times, like, family members and friends have suffered a loss, and I always truly feel like I'm gonna lose my friend in that moment because I don't know how to be there for them. So many times, bro. One of my best friends, my oldest son's godson, my boy Dor. It's his story to tell when he's ready to tell it. But he suffered a loss, and because I don't deal well with loss, like if I were to lose someone, I wouldn't deal well with it. And even when people that I love and care for, when they suffer a loss, like because I don't deal well with it, I don't know what to say and or do for them. So I'm stuck in this weird place where I just want to continue and move forward like things are, like nothing happened. Mm.
So it comes off like insensitive?
Every time, to where it's like to the point where they'll tell me about it and I'll express I'll cry with them if it moves me to cry. Most times it does. And I'll express damn, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Like, you and your family will be in my prayers. After that, I truly don't know what to say and do. I never do. And it always makes me feel like my boy Dor. I remember thinking, he's not going to be my friend after this. And it was a true fear, because he's a great friend. He and I have never had an argument. He's someone that you can call. You can be in San Diego. I'm sorry, he'll be in San Diego. You call him, you're in Temecula. Your tire just blew out on the freeway. He's going to come and get you.
That's dope.
He's that friend. Like, you can call, like, he's pulling up. He's that friend. And he's always been that friend. He and I have never had an argument. Me and him are like this. I was so scared that he was like, Mike, like I suffered a loss and Mike didn't even know how can I call this dude my friend and he didn't even know how to be there for me.
I've been there for him so many times, yeah, shit.
I was truly afraid that he wouldn't, like, he was like, nah, I've been there so many times for Mike, and my greatest time of need, he can't be there for me. I'm cool off Mike. That was a true fear, bro. And every time one of my Not necessarily family members, because it's like you can't not be my cousin. Like, you can't, and we've suffered this loss together, and we're grieving it in different ways. With a friend, it's like, although it's my loss as well, because I love you, and so you lost something, and I feel it as well, but I don't feel it the same way you do. It's your loved one, so it's like I do not know. I don't deal well with loss and with tragedy, bro. I don't. Not in the slightest. It's really difficult for me. Very difficult for me, for sure.
Damn, man, that's I think my dad's passing helped me. Kind of like I was saying earlier. Like, I understand everything happens for a reason. So I learned that death is just part of life. At my younger age, so now it happens. Like I'll cry for my family members or my close friends if they lose somebody. I'll be there with them, like, at the funeral, whatever you need me to be there. But I had a friend who his sister died, and I couldn't go to the service. Like, I was working, and but I did all the other shit. Like, yo, man, my bad about your sister, and he like cut us all out. Like, the whole friends like deleted us and stopped talking to us because we weren't there. It's like, well, damn, man. Like, I understand you lost somebody, but some people have responsibilities, and some of us don't have the luxury to like skip that to go, but so I see his side, but at the same time, like, you can't help how people handle certain situations.
Not at all.
How you were saying that if your dad passed away, you wouldn't have done sports. That happened to me, man.
Yeah.
When my dad died, I didn't have no love to play football no more.
Really?
Like, I quit my senior year. I was like, don't even mean nothing no more. Because my dad was who I played with. So, like, he taught me football. He's the one that made me a 49er fan. And for him not to, like, be there anymore, it just didn't have, like, the same, like, gusto.
That's tough. That was what I was going to say about, you said, like, your last time speaking with your dad, he kind of, like, snapped at you about something. I had a similar experience. I was just lucky and blessed enough to where I didn't get to have a conversation. I just got over my feelings. In 2009, I moved to LA to study music. I went to Cerritos College. They had a good music and music production and radio business program at Cerritos College. So I moved to LA to live with my aunt and my cousin and go to Cerritos College. They ended up moving to Palmdale, so I moved in with my grandma. I moved in with my granny in South Central LA, and I was going to school in Cerritos, and so that's a nice commute. That's really like
especially with traffic too.
Yeah, and I didn't have a car, so I'm on the bus and on the train. That's like living in San Diego and going to college and then going to Palomar.
Oh, damn.
In San Marcos.
Yeah.
And taking public transportation every day. So it was tough. It was rough. I'm living with her, and she just at a time in her life when just like she was just annoyed and frustrated with a lot of things. I'll just say that. And I'm living with her, not paying rent. I'm grown, not paying rent. So I'm an expense. I'm not an asset. And she's like buying groceries and like writing her name on it.
Oh, like a roommate type.
Yeah, and I'm like, my granny doing that? Like, damn, that's kind of. And then I come home from school, and I'm not really eating much because I'm like, she never said it, but I took that as like, if you're putting your name on the food, that means you don't want nobody to touch it. So I didn't touch it. So I just would figure out how. And I didn't have no money, so I just figured out how I was gonna eat. So I'm not eating, taking like an hour to get to school, and it's a 2-hour commute there and back, barely eating. And I had just explained to her maybe like 3 days prior that like, yeah, I got like I'm taking a full load. Like I got, what's it in college when you got a full, what's it called?
Full-time
student. Yeah, I'm a full-time student. I had just told her that. Maybe like 3 days later, she came and asked me how many classes I was taking, And if I wasn't taking that many, then maybe I should think about like going back to San Diego and taking those classes in San Diego.
Oh, damn, low-key kicked you out.
And I was like, all right. Literally, that was in the afternoon. I packed my bag that night, and the next day I came back to San Diego. So I was like, you know what, like, and I had resentment towards my grandma for a long time. That was 2009. I won't put a time on it, but for years, I had resentment towards my grandma for that because I was like, if it was one of my other cousins, I can name them, but I won't. I was like, if that was a couple of my other cousins that lived in here and in this situation, you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have you would have made sure they had food to eat. You probably would have even given them money to get to school. You wouldn't have treated them like that. Like why are you doing me like that? Like I felt the way, not always, because it's not to this day, but for a long time, I felt the way about how I was treated. It wasn't until, honestly, my dad, I was complaining about it one time when I came out here to visit, and my dad was like, well, son, he was driving me back to the train to come back to LA, actually. He's like, well, son, I'm thinking he's finna be on my side, like, have some sympathy for me. He was like, well, son, the situation is, you're a grown man, living in her house, rent-free. She don't have to do nothing for you. She's doing everything she needs to do by letting you sleep in there. She don't have to do nothing for you. And I was like, yeah, he's right.
Was that his mom or your mom's mom?
It was my mom's mom. It wasn't even his mom he was sticking up for.
Yeah.
It was my mom's mom he was sticking up. So I was like, he's right. But I was still like, I wouldn't do my kid or my grandkid like that. And I know if it was one of my other cousins in here, they wouldn't be treated this way. Why am I getting it? So I felt some resentment. I did for a long time. And just by the grace of God, bro, maybe like 7 months before my grandma passed, I just on my own just got over feeling that way. I just was like, bro, like, how long you gonna be upset? It's your granny. She an older lady. She's set in her ways. She is who she is. You're not gonna get an apology. She don't know that you're upset because you never said nothing. Like, how long you gonna be upset? Just get over it.
She reach out when you left?
Huh?
Did she reach out? Like,
Yeah.
Why'd you leave?
No, she didn't ask. She didn't ask why I left. But plenty of Christmases, Thanksgivings, birthday parties when I seen her, and hugs, kisses, love, laughs, everything. So it was like, she never knew that I felt the way. It was just in my own, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I finally got over it, and then maybe like 7 to 8 months after that, she got really, really sick and then passed away. And just by the grace of God that I like got out my feelings and was able to, like, you know what I mean, stop feeling a way about my granny. But yeah, like, loss is crazy, bro. I couldn't imagine, like, how I would feel if I never got over that before she passed. I feel like I'd be like, oh, I wish I could have apologized to her, tell her that, you know what I mean? It's just, you know.
I don't know how, like, it is for you, but, like, in Mexican culture, Mexican moms have a habit of, like really digging into, like, guilt. And so, like, whenever we argue with, like, our mom, me and my sister, she'll be like, when I'm gone, you're gonna wish that you can argue with me, and, you know, like, guilt tripping us because, like, we're making her mad or whatever. So I think if that would happen, I'd be like, damn, mom was right. You know, like, we shouldn't have argued with her, because she was always telling us, like, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me. When I'm gone, you're gonna, like, wish you can argue with me and shit. And it's just like, fuck.
You feel like your mom was fair growing up?
Fair? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was definitely.
My mom was my mom, but my parents both were incredibly fair. I always feel bad for people when they talk about their like, just stuff not being fair in the house.
Like, what would you consider, like, or what would they say is not fair?
I guess it's not really like a conversation or but I think it's unfair for a parent to go through their kid's room.
Oh, then yeah, no, my mom.
To be like opening drawers.
My mom to this day will open my mail.
Open the drawer. My mom wouldn't do that, but if my mom opened my mail, I wouldn't be tripping too much about that. I would look at her as she's trying to help me. She's trying to, like, yo, this might be late, I gotta help, like, but, like, Like growing up, if you're a teenager, for your parents to be snooping through your room, that's not okay.
They would argue, I pay for this shit. My mom would be like, you didn't buy none of this? You don't pay rent here?
They're absolutely right, logically. But what type of like atmosphere are you trying to foster by snooping through your kids' stuff and letting them know I'm going through your stuff? You're just telling them I don't trust you and I need to look into whatever you're doing.
I think that's most parents, isn't it? Honestly, I swear to you, I thought parents not going through their kids' room was more of a Caucasian thing.
My parents never. Okay, if they did an amazing job.
I was covering up the tracks,
putting everything back exactly the way it was. My parents didn't go through art. Our parents didn't. Pardon, I'm speaking like my brothers are here on the show with me. My parents didn't go through my stuff, and to their credit, I didn't have nothing in my drawers, and I didn't have nothing in my room that shouldn't have been in there until I was an adult.
Oh, maybe you give them trust. And I used to hide homework. I was a horrible student. I never wanted to do homework, so I would hide it. My mom would find it and be like...
I was a bad student, but I wasn't a bad kid.
Oh.
So they would get on me about my grades, but I wasn't coming home high or drunk. Girls wasn't calling my house like, yo, your son was in my daughter's room. Like I never had none of that. And yeah. I was about to say, I did those things. I
just never found out.
I drank when I was underage. I had sex when I was in high school. I did things that I shouldn't have done. I just was respectful enough of my parents that it was never public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I truly credit it to that, bro. Like I had enough respect for my parents that I didn't let those things be public. And I'm saying it on the podcast now as a grown man, but like my dad was a minister. My dad was a minister and a pastor.
Okay.
I always felt like I'm not finna embarrass my dad, especially not getting no girls pregnant. That was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not finna embarrass my dad by getting no girl pregnant.
At a wedlock or something.
At a wedlock, yeah. But that also with other things too is like, my dad is a clergyman in the community. I can't be out here
running through hoes.
Yeah, or not even that. I can't be running the streets. I can't be. And granted, and again, I did plenty of stuff growing up that I shouldn't have done. I was a knucklehead. I ran around with weapons. I consumed stuff at a younger age that I shouldn't have. I did those things. But I was never like a reckless kid or like a reckless young adult and also I was never the dude that was like trying to look like something doing those things. I always thought that was corny. I always thought that was super whack to be like
a poser?
Or even if that's really who you are. If you really live that life. But every chance you get, you pulling out your phone and you got the gun in front of the phone on your John Morant. Or every time you smoking, you blowing smoke into the camera. Like I never.
Like a city girl and shit.
I never. Yeah, for real. You trying to be a city girl. I never thought none of that was cool.
Yeah.
I never thought none of that was cool, bro.
I to this day don't think none of that shit is cool.
Nah.
Like anything. And I was telling, I forgot who I was telling, somebody on the podcast, but I was like, I grew up where like people stole from like thy neighbors. You know what I mean? Like my dad woke up one day and his car was gone. You know what I mean? Like. My sister's stereos were taken. Like one time they stole from my car. You know, it's like so flaunting for me was always like, nah, hell no, I'm not trying to give somebody like a reason to come up on me. So like flaunting, when I see shit like that, I think to this day, like if I see somebody flaunting on Instagram or something, like, why are you doing that, man? Somebody like doesn't have that and might want it, and they're willing to do what it takes to take it away from me. So that's why like flaunting all that shit is like, man.
See, for me, I always looked at people flaunting online as you've never had that before. That's all I can chalk it up to. Like, if you get a new piece of jewelry or a new designer piece of clothes or a new pair of shoes or whatever, and your first instinct is to pull your camera out and show the whole world that you have this, you're not used to having those types of things. That's all that says to me. That's all it says to me.
I agree 100%.
Like,
I think some people just like posting shit. Like that's the thing. Like my girl loves, like if I give her something, she'll post it, and then she'll give me something. She's like, "You gonna post it?" I'm like, "Nah." Like I don't care if anybody knows that you got me. Like I'm not hiding it, but I'm not going out of my way like, oh, thanks. But that's her thing. So it's like a balance where she likes to like put all that shit out there, and I don't.
And see, to me, that's more so, and people can feel how they feel about that as well. But to me, that's more so flaunting the relationship. I'm so proud that I'm in this happy relationship. Look at me. My man loves me this much that he just comes home with random gifts for me. To me, and again, if you feel like women shouldn't do that, then that's your whole thing too. But again, to me, you're not flaunting. If you buy her a bag and she's like, oh, Jonah bought me a bag, da-da-da-da. I receive that as she's flaunting the fact that my man thinks I'm worthy of this. My man loves me that he just comes home with gifts for me. She's not flaunting the bag. She's flaunting her man and her relationship. Now, a girl flaunting a bag, that just shows me you don't.
That she bought herself or something?
Or even if the man bought it.
Oh,
that just shows me that you either A, have never had that quality of bag before, or B, you've never had a man buy you nice things before.
That part.
It's saying one of two things to me.
I never look at, like, when women do it, I'm like, it feels like a woman trait. You know what I mean? To, like, flaunt shit. To me, I think when dudes do it, it's just kind of like you said, man, you never had it before. Or like the dude that takes out the wad of money. It's like,
Yeah.
What are you doing, bro?
If you can be like, I guess if you could be somewhat creative with it, then it's like, okay. But like, because I've seen like sometimes when like the new shoes come out, like some dudes are like matter of fact, my brother, years ago, maybe over 10, maybe like 15 years ago, the playoff Jordan 13s came out, and he sat down, like he like did some kind of like prayer hands pose or like something. I think he did like prayer hands, and he put like one on each arm, and he like did them like that. And again, that's like at the time, like we were really big into sneakers, and it was like sneaker culture, and he wasn't like. I guess someone can make the same argument.
But I feel like that's like a culture thing, because I think any sneakerhead would be like, oh, that's fire. You know what I mean? Like somebody who's not in sneakers would be like, that's corny as fuck. But like I'm in the sneakers, I'd be like, oh, that's dope as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, depends on what it is and if it has like a culture behind it.
But I guess girls that are into bags can make the argument.
Right, like to guys that's like,
they look at the bag and it's like, oh, she got the brown Birkin bag. Oh, that's dope. Just like we be like, oh, he got the fire red 5s. Like, oh, that's. I guess it's just
like my girl loves the Telfar bags. Like she loves those bags. She got like multiple colorways, and I'll be like, hey, those bags are whack. She's like, you don't get it. And I was like, you right, I don't. Like it's just another bag and shit. And I'll be like, how many you got now? And she's like, how many shoes you got? And I was like, all right, you win. You got it. So I was just like, things you like and shit.
It up for me. Make sure I ain't miss nothing. I'm listening to you, Jonah. My bad.
Are you good?
Oh, I should have brought that up when you said you used to work at Costco. You see that? Lady,
No.
Lady full
she
figure.
Like big?
Not big. She's like full figure. Thick thighs, big butt, big breasts.
You mean like curvy?
Curvy.
Like
curvy. Really
like
sexy,
IG model type shit?
voluptuous.
Okay.
Yes. Right. Ass to, yeah, we still got some dope, so I'm going to have to cut this up for sure, though. But, yeah, she at Costco employee, voluptuous woman, big legs, thick thighs, hips, butt, breasts, everything. Is wearing, like, her uniform is form-fitting. They told her that she needs to wear bigger clothes.
Like at work? The work told her?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Being that
as a former Costco employee.
I didn't work for Costco. I worked in Costco.
In Costco?
But I like, observed from outside and saw how, all the politics and shit. It must have been like a woman who told her, because the male managers are actively trying to fuck the employees. So it was probably for sure either like the boyfriend or like a woman coworker was like, "You're doing too much."
That reminds me of the elementary school teacher. Do you remember her?
Oh yeah, she was black, right?
Yeah, black girl, light skin.
Bad too.
Yeah, she was sexy, mad sexy. But she was.
Everybody was like, "I wish that was my teacher."
Jeans, skirts, tight stuff. Same thing with her. They was like, "Yo, like the principal was like, you need to dress differently." She's like, "I dress like every other teacher." She did.
I mean, but the bodies aren't the same. Yeah, it's not her fault. Yeah, you're right. I remember in high school we had a teacher. She was a substitute, but she would like that substitute that was like rotating for like all the teachers. So she was always around, and she would wear like these fucking skin tight pin skirts, and she was bad, bro. Everybody would love when she was in the class, and she knew, and she would talk about like wearing thongs and like she knew exactly what she was doing.
Sound like that National City teacher. Twice? How'd she do it twice? Like, how did she? So, for those that aren't familiar, a teacher here in San Diego County and National City, I think it's a middle school.
Middle school, yeah.
Middle school teacher
was sleeping with students.
Sleeping with students. Got caught 2 different times.
How you get? I mean, you think it's a kid snitching?
No,
that's probably bragging.
No, it's a parent.
But from bragging though.
Yeah, for sure. A kid brag because it's a female teacher.
Yeah. So
it's a kid bragging that he's smashing his teacher. Word get around, and somebody's mom say, "You doing what?"
Yeah.
That's what I think. But bro, how was she able to stay on the job? Because she's a woman. That's why. That's
a hot take.
That's why.
I was gonna say like, damn, maybe they talked to her and was like, "Yo, what you doing? Like, knock it off." But a guy wouldn't have got away with that. He would have gone to jail immediately. But that reminds me of, you ever see these like Instagram models? They'll go to like Target wearing like a thong, like showing titties, or like they'll walk down the aisle, pull their pants down. And,
nah.
You've never seen this?
Nah.
So there's like models will like go hella like almost like in underwear to Walmart or Target. And then they'll pull down their pants and like shake their ass for like customers walking down the aisle. And it's like, oh, that's cool. But if a guy did that, it's a wrap. You would die on a registry.
Well, we have no equivalent. What can we do? Take our shirt off and flex? Like, you can't just pull your meat out and start.
That's what I'm saying. But that's equivalent. Like, them popping out their titties or their ass is kind of equivalent to like, because that's what they, like what we sexualize, right? So like if a dude pulls out his shit, it's like.
Women sexualize men's physique, upper body. I think when we're talking about pulling your body parts out, the only equivalent to pulling your meat out is a woman pulling her vagina out. That's the only equivalent, because it's your private parts. That's the only equivalent.
But we sexualize ass.
But then at the same time, us taking our shirt off and them taking their shirt off isn't the same. So
exactly.
I feel what you're saying.
But if a dude did that, like it's a wrap. Yeah. Even if he pulled down his pants and was wearing a thong, they'd be like, "Yo, you wildin'," like. You can't do that. But if a girl who's sexy, a model, they're going to let it rock.
No. I think if I'm walking through Target and a sexy woman decides to give me a show as I'm walking down the aisle, I'm not going to be upset with that.
You're not going to complain, exactly, yeah.
But if I see a man while I'm walking through Target,
you're going to be up in arms.
Pull his pants down and try to give me a show, I'm calling security.
Calling the cops immediately. He tried to molest me, officer.
The authorities. What's the other official word for it?
Put him in jail.
I'm calling the fuzz, the authorities.
I'm calling the babbies. Get them over here.
Yo, I'm calling somebody.
Arrest this man.
While we're talking about employees of public places, there's a female manager of a Wendy's created a fake employee so she could pocket $20,000.
That's smart.
Very smart. Did you see that story?
Nah, it just sounds smart.
She's the manager.
She created like a fake employee.
He got a
clocked in and out.
Got a scan card, not a scan card, but he's got he can, like you said, clock in and out, everything. They caught her because. Of course, that's like a plan that's like, you can't have nobody else in on that plan.
Nah.
Unless your brother.
And then at least you're breaking them off too.
Yeah.
And that's how people get caught.
A sibling or a cousin works with you. But that's still something you got to keep to yourself. But they caught her because this fake employee that she created, a male, and I forget the name, but a woman, she created a male employee, was only clocking in when she clocked in.
Right.
So they was like, and then just to be sure, they brought in other workers. And was like, have you ever worked with a worker named, because they got him clocking in the same day as you, clocking out an hour after
There's
you.
no way you didn't see him.
You ever worked with a Wayne, blah, blah, blah? They're like, nah, I never heard of this guy. And so that was how she got jammed up. Come to find out, they ran her bank statements and everything. It seems like she used all of that money from this fake employee to pay for childcare.
Oh, shit.
So it wasn't like she was just trying to come up and buy a new car.
She was just trying to make it.
She was trying to get by.
Damn, that's crazy.
Childcare.
Because obviously she did something illegal.
Yeah.
But then you're like, but look what she was doing.
And she got arrested. She's going to do her time. I was about to say which she should because she did something illegal.
Smart, though.
It's hard for me to say which she should. But she's going to go and do her time, and I'm not upset with her doing that's there you go. I'm not upset with her having to do the time. But it ain't like she was out
I think
here.
she got greedy. That's like, and I speak from experience.
You don't got no kids, bro. Childcare is expensive.
No, I know that, but like she could have been a little bit smarter and not done it so much that it wouldn't have raised so many like flags. And that's what a lot of people who try to like hustle the system. We get greedy, and I say from experience, like I got greedy. You know, I found a loophole where I used to work, and I was like, I'm gonna exploit this loophole, and to the point where it was like I was doing too much, and they closed the loophole on me. You know what I mean? So it's like when you get greedy because you're like, at work, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Oh shit, I could keep doing it and doing it, and then it just raises flags, and then you get caught.
I was about to say if she could have brought one person in with her, but if she'd have brought one person in, when she eventually got caught, that person would have went down too.
Yeah.
And could you imagine, like you? But yeah, I'm only agreeing to that if you're gonna break me off too, like you said.
You gotta like who Meek Mill is. He has a song.
Absolutely.
He has a song, and at the end of it says you gotta feed your wolves or they'll put you on the menu. And that's, it's true. Like if you're gonna do anything shady, you gotta feed the people who know about it, or else they're gonna like throw you under the bus. That's why
if you're doing, I don't want to say shady. I don't want to do anything shady. But there are some things that you want to do in secret. They aren't shady. You just
like a loophole.
You want it to be in secret. If you let a bunch of people know about this secret, I'm speaking to what you're saying about Meek Mill. If you got to feed the wolves, like not if the wolves don't know what's going on.
Right. But if they know, you gotta break them in. Imagine knowing that, let's say your coworker's making like 10 racks extra a month, and he ain't breaking you, and you know about it. He knows it, and he ain't breaking you nothing. That's the easiest way to get caught.
I feel it. Speaking of work, woman was fired from her job after 18 years of service for not typing enough while working from home.
For not typing enough? Like
worked for this job for 18 years. Worked for this job for 18 years. I'm guessing, COVID hits. I'm not assuming, I'm guessing. I read into the story. COVID hits, like everybody did. She gets to work from home. She's back and forth working from home, working in the office, working from home. Finally goes to full-time working at home. They fired her for not typing enough.
That's crazy.
She's been good enough to do this job for 18 years. They fired her for not typing enough.
I mean, there has to be context of typing what? Like keyboard strokes or?
That's what leaves it in question. Because if it's like, if she's not, because it'll go dead. Like your laptop or whatever, it'll go dead. If every day she clocks in at 8 o'clock. If every day by 10 o'clock her computer goes dead and it doesn't come alive again until she clocks out, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But to say not typing enough, like
it's confusing. Like, so she's not working hard enough, or she's been at the job for 18 years. She probably knows how to do shit quicker than need be.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking she knows how to, like, you know what takes me 8 hours to do in the office, I can get it done in 3 at the crib, and I'm gonna get it done in 3, and I'm gonna go play with my dog. I'm gonna go get some chores done. I'm gonna go get my laundry done. That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
She got her job done. Got her work. I want to say got the job done. Got work done quick. Went to find other things to do. But that's the thing about working a job. Like, there's always work to be done. Like you can never like.
Yeah.
Your boss. Like if you work a job, if you work for somebody else, which most people do, and I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying, if you work a job and your boss comes by, and you're scrolling your phone. You tell them like, oh yeah, all those tasks, I finished those. They're not gonna be like, oh, okay, go ahead, scroll your phone.
Nah, they're
gonna bring you more to do. Even if they thought that the task they gave you was gonna take you 4 hours and you finished it in 2, they're gonna bring you more work.
Yeah.
Because you're here to work. You're not here to check off 5 tasks. You're here to work for 8 hours. So they're gonna give you 8 hours of work.
I mean, at that point, you gotta like, I know it could take me 3, but I'm gonna stretch it.
Yeah.
You know.
And then that's when you start trying to move up. Because if it's like, if I could body 8 hours of work in 3 hours, and they're just gonna give me more work, then that's when I feel like, and it's hard to say because I don't want to work for nobody no more, but I feel like that's when you gotta articulately ask for more work. And I say articulately, you gotta ask for more work in a way that says,
I want more money.
I can do more, but I will do more once I'm paid more.
Yeah.
That's why I say that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like if I could do my job in 2 hours, I'd still take the whole 8. Just because, like, I gotta be here for 8. I might as well just, stretch it a little bit, do my job, and that's it.
I feel it. It's another topic I meant to bring up when you were talking about your fiance and all that. Nigerian man calls off wedding after his wife commented on a post saying she'd cheat on him for $1 million. You calling off your wedding too if you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think I would too.
Yeah, like, there's a price on this? Like, if she would have said a billy, I'd be like, yo, split that. We could do a lot with a billy, but a milli? Like...
No, but it's the same thing. So if she said, if you saw a post and you're now fiance, you're not married yet, and you see a fiance comment on a post saying she'd cheat on you for $1 billion, how you handling that?
Damn, did I know about it? Like, am I in on it? Like, or is it just like you just gonna do it and keep the money to yourself? I mean, there's questions I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
Because that's a lot of money.
You've opened this conversation up so wide by saying that. So let's say she cheats on you for the $1 billion, and she uses that money. She never sees this guy again, and she uses that money to enrich you guys' life together.
See, but I like, you know how I've been talking about loopholes and shit like that? Like, I'm gonna take the money and dip. I won't stay with her just because of trust issues. Like, I can't be with somebody I don't trust. Like, 100%, I don't care how much I love her. If I feel like I can't trust her, I can't be with her. But I'm gonna still try to, like, get mine, like, I'm gonna try to get my cut before I dip. I'll play the role. Like, yeah, that's cool. I'm fine with it. Let me get mine, and then I'm a dip.
I feel it. I got a dip. I can't. Regardless of what it is, I can't see no post of you publicly saying.
Oh, that's just disrespectful, though.
Yeah. Because
it's not even a real situation. It's a hypothetical, and then that's a post that people can see. That's disrespect.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like, disrespect. That's like if she put heart eyes on some guy's picture, like, yo, it might be harmless, but people see that, and that's disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the line crossed.
How do you and your fiance do with like commenting on other people's posts? Do you ever leave like fire emojis or no? Never.
I would never.
You think that's inappropriate?
Yeah, I would never, because I don't want whoever that person is to be like, damn, and his girl over here, like boosting him up and comment, like, nah, I ain't gonna make my girl look silly over some random bitch I ain't even fucking. Nah. Sorry if I'm cussing. I don't know if you don't.
You're totally fine. You're totally fine.
Nah, there's no way I'm embarrassing my girl like that. Nah.
And you think leaving fire emojis on a girl's post?
I won't even follow IG models.
It doesn't have to be an IG model.
No, like if it's fire emojis, nah, never. Maybe on my guy friends, because that's how we do it and shit. But nah, like a girl, nah, never. You'll never see my name next to some fire emojis under any girl's picture that's not my girl. Never.
Commendable.
Never.
And see, I'm in the early stages of a divorce right now. I would do that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it would always be the same. I would do that for to my cousin's post though.
But that's family. We're talking about like.
But so that's what I'm saying though. So if it's like if one of my cousins, one of my female cousins, posts something, and for the record, I'm not talking about like.
Thank you for clearing this up, bro.
Bikini or
yeah, all right.
My female cousins post like bikini photos.
There's no fire emojis.
I keep scrolling.
Right.
But like when they're like dressed, like date night or going out with the girls and they got a dress and the hair and the makeup is done up, my like standard thing I always put killing with an exclamation mark and I put 2 fire emojis. That's always my thing what I do.
I think context matters. I think that's fine though.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying I'll do that to my cousin or I'll do that to the homegirl that looks good. That's looking good too. Killing 2 fire emojis. I'm like, if I do that to my cousin and I do that to you, like it's like.
Was that ever an issue?
It was never an issue. Not in my relationship. No.
Oh, okay.
It was never an issue in my relationship.
Okay.
And I think, well, also, my ex, she was just cool. She was just cool. But also, I think, like I said, I would like if I'm leaving that on my cousin's post and then leaving that on someone that's not my cousin. It's like, am I flirting with you? Because I said the same thing to my cousin.
But your cousin clearly knows you're not flirting with her.
True.
But that other girl might think that you're flirting with her. So she might take it as like, oh, Mike's feeling me. And he got a girl, like, you don't want to leave it up to the interpretation of what they might think is going on when you're doing it. And there's this like saying in Spanish, don't do innocent things that look guilty. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like to you, it's just like, no, I'm just hyping your picture up. She might take it as like, nah, he likes me.
So what's more important, perception or reality then?
To who though? To you?
That's what I'm saying.
To you, reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
To her, she might just feel like she likes that.
Yeah, I was about to say if the shoe were on the other foot, I wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah. So like, and that girl can be like, her friend be like, oh, you see Mike, he left you a message. She's like, girl, I know, man. He be always liking all my shit, leaving the fire emojis. And then they look at your girl like, kind of like, like in a negative way, like,
true.
Damn, your man out here hyping us.
And I always looked at it as that girl could say like, oh, Mike left fire emojis on my blah blah blah, and I could always be like I did that to my cousin. You're not special.
Yeah.
I left fire emojis on my cousin's post. You're not special.
I mean, like you said, to each their own, but so I don't know. Like I don't ever want to. Like I can't. Like my girl takes that shit serious.
I feel it.
Like so, I can't be like, if she thinks that's disrespectful, then I just won't do it because then she'll feel some type of way. Mm-hmm.
I feel it. Oh, my phone is over there. I got my quick hitter segment. I'm gonna hit you with this will be the last thing, then we'll get out of here. I'm gonna hit you with a word or a phrase, and you have 3 seconds to answer. It's the first thing that comes to mind. You just hit me with it. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
San Diego.
Finest city in America.
California.
The best state in the United States.
Podcast.
Interesting.
Music.
Global.
Padres.
Horrible relationship.
Chargers.
Fuck the Chargers.
Hats.
I like them.
Shoes.
I love them.
Mexican food.
Love.
San Diego.
Love.
Boom. My guy Jonah, Barbershop Confidential.
I appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
you pulling up on me, man. Another episode of the Ain't Got It Yet podcast, man. I appreciate y'all rocking.
Hopefully it wasn't too controversial and shit.
Oh, nah, we good, man. We good. Till next. You know what? I the whole time I've been sitting here, I was like, I expected to laugh more with Jonah. I'm like disappointed that I didn't make you laugh.
Oh, shit. Oh, my bad. I thought you disappointed
in
me. I was like,
not
oh,
in you. I'm disappointed that I didn't make you laugh more. Because I know every time I watch you, I know like I can tell like when you pod, you like to laugh. Like you like lighthearted.
I mean, it's just like the conversation too. Like,
yeah.
we got into some like serious shit, and then I can't be over here laughing about like death and shit while you don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
the conversation went.
It was so like completely different from like how you typically do your pod, and that wasn't. My goal was to like have the same energy like you typically have on your podcast. It's like lighthearted, you joke, you know what I'm saying, when you're talking about death and like parents and like church and like serious stuff, you know what I'm saying?
That's good though.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.